All right, greetings from the Headwaters Science Center. My name is Anne Skoy, and happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, to all mothers, everybody with mothers, and everybody who takes care of people. And for me, being a mother is as much a verb as a noun, so everybody who does the work of being mothering. And also a shout out to the elephants out there who are pregnant for a very long time. So, but today I'm going to be talking about plants, about flowers, and it's sort of a part two. Last week we talked about scientific names and names in general for plants. So thank you everyone who chimed in with their favorite plant names, animal names. And if you have more to contribute to that discussion, go right ahead and add some more. And today I'm thinking about plants and flowers and what is blooming and what is growing. So if you gave someone special a flower for Mother's Day today, or if there's a special flower or plant that reminds you of one of your favorite mothers, go ahead and share that with me. Or if there are scientific names for plants that you really like, please go ahead and put that in the chat or share that with us. So we have a guest here who talked about lilies of the valley that are some of his favorite.
Hi.
Oh, Arno, would you help me? I'm going to hand you this, okay? Okay, and can you, this is my son, so he can take off his, since he's doing this, can you try to smell that? So he can be close to me and he can smell that. And it has a light smell. This is a couple years old. Okay, so thank you. Here's another one. They both smell really good, don't they?
This one doesn't have as much of a good smell.
And this one doesn't have as much of a good smell as this one? Okay, you can, so what I have here are some braided sweetgrass, and I'm gonna read you a quote, and you can keep holding those if you want. It's from a book called Braiding Sweetgrass, and it was written by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And since today is Mother's Day, I'm also thinking about Mother Earth and how we take care of her. So, and this has, listen closely for the name, the scientific name, and also the name in Ojibwe of sweetgrass, of the plant that Arnaud just showed you. So hold out your hands, Arnaud, or everybody, you can imagine this, and let me lay upon them a sheaf of freshly picked sweetgrass. We can imagine that it's freshly picked, loose and flowing like newly washed hair. Golden green and glossy above, the stems are banded with purple and white where they meet the ground. Hold the bundle to your nose. Find the fragrance of honeyed vanilla and the scent of river water and black earth, and you will understand its scientific name. Chloe odorata, meaning the fragrant holy grass. In our language, in Ojibwe, it's called wigashak, the sweet smelling hair of Mother Earth. Breathe it in and then you'll start to remember things you didn't know you had forgotten. Okay, thank you, Arno. So that is sweetgrass. Chloe odorata. I brought you a couple other, thank you Arno, a couple other plants here. Some have nice smells and some don't. This one Arno, you can show up very carefully. And it has, back it up a bit and hold it maybe so they can see when the flowers. You got that? It's in focus? Okay, and this is a new one that's growing in our yard, and the old leaves, I don't have an old leaf, or I got lost in my basket on the way here. The leaves are shaped in 3 lobes. They look like a liver, and so they're called hepaticas after liver. And this is another one. Called Palustrus, and we call it marsh marigolds. My dad and his mom, my grandma, used to call it cowslip. That's another word for it. They're growing now. So these are some things that are blooming near Bemidji these days.
In our yard.
Okay, stay. Okay, thank you, Arno. And this is one of my favorites. It has lots of wonderful names. Taraxacum officinale. And in English, we call it a dandelion. Will you take it out so we can see the leaves? And we call it a dandelion because the leaves look like lion's teeth, the Dandelion. And that's actually what it's called in German too. It's called a Löwenzahn. But in French, it's not called that actually. In French, it's called a pissenlit because it's a diuretic. And a diuretic means that it makes you pee out things in your body. So that's actually what it's called in French. And once,
the English name is in French, but the French don't call it that.
Right, the French call it, you might pee in your bed, is what the French call it. And Germans actually have a special name for it when it turns into the seeds and you can blow it. It's called a Pusteblume, a flower that you can blow. So that is one. And this is not a native species. It was imported here by French people. But it's actually a very useful plant. It's all parts are edible, has a lot of vitamin K in it, which is good, good for your blood.
The dome part on that
is the dome.
French is it's
like
the same
teeth.
as like dental.
Right, like teeth. Yeah, right. I guess that to me I didn't. Yep. See the sharp teeth looks like lion's teeth. They don't. I'm pointing at my mask to show you my lovely teeth here. Another flower. Two other flowers that are. Thank you, Arnaud.
No.
They don't.
Missing.
All right, he is missing many of them. Can you show that up here? This is a red elderberry that is starting to, hold back a little bit. Back. Sarombucus Raciosa, the red elderberry. And it is also a special plant in German. It's called Holunder, and named after Huldra, the goddess Huldra. And in the spring, you can make a drink out of or a tonic out of the flowers. It's very healthy. The Holunder. All right. Arnold, thank you. Can you put that one back and show this? This is one of my other favorite ones that blooms here on Mother's Day. And this is a viola, our little violet, Viola sororia. Hold it up a little bit higher. Yep, and those are native, little native blue violets that grow here. Thank you, Arno. All right. Okay. So those are the special ones that we brought in, the sweetgrass. Thank you. And I want to also point out to you our bog tank and some of the things that are going special right here. We have mostly, in this area here, there's mostly native plants. We also have a couple from other areas. And then we also have a tank over here of lots of carnivorous plants from all over. And maybe I'll show you a couple of them. And these are ones I'm not so familiar with, and I won't. If you want to come and look at them and learn their scientific names, you can. And we have a book that has lots of information about plants. Some of them we don't have in our tank right now, but that have been in here before and were put together by a staff member, Anita, who's no longer with us. But I want to point out to you some of the things that are happening right now. If you can see, Ryan, can you go in a little bit closer? Our pitcher plant here is blooming. And if you can't see it so well here on the camera, come on in and look at it up close. Or go out in the woods, go to the Lake Bemidji State Park on their bog walk. You can see the lovely pitcher plants there. Another fun thing that's going on in our pitcher plant, in our bog tank right now that you could also see out in nature here near Bemidji is the Fiddlehead Ferns. The ferns here are in their fiddlehead stage. There are some edible species and some that are not. So that's one thing that you can check out and learn about. But you can see the fronds are curved like the head of a fiddle, and then they grow into the fronds like that, the ferns. Yeah. Any questions or any comments? Ryan, are there any flowers that are special to people that in your life that you think about on Mother's Day?
Not particular, to be honest. We've never been a big flower getting family.
Flower getting?
So as far as like a a name I've always appreciated, though. I like that the vascular plants in general are just called the tracheophytes. I like most of my scientific name knowledge comes from human body parts, and so I like when there's a translation that happens there with the trachea in a human converts right over and be like, oh yeah, it's like full of tubes basically. So we want to say vascular plant. I appreciate the continuity there.
Yeah, good. Any comments on the discussion? Yeah, and maybe one other thing I want to point out to you at the Headwater Science Center is we have murals here. This is a mural of things that you can see in nature around Bemidji, and it was painted by Maureen O'Brien, by a local artist.
And Maureen still comes around every once in a while. So if you ever come to eCube, she usually does us, makes a painting for us every eCube as part of our fundraising there. So been a friend of the Science Center for a long time, Maureen.
Yeah. So maybe I can ask some other guests as they come by about flowers and plants and names of plants that are special to them. But I encourage you to, to go outside, open your eyes, look around, see what you can see, learn about it, look things up.
Have you told us what?
Oh,
do you have any plants that are special to you?
I have lots of them that are special to me. I do especially like marsh marigolds. And they're blooming around the time of my wedding, so that's one reason why they're special to me. And I do like daisies because they were blooming around the time that my daughter was born. So there's another flower that's special to me. But I don't know the Latin name. I will have to look that up for you all. Yeah, maybe some of our other guests have special flower or plant names that they really like. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening to our presentation. I'll remind you of our hours. Now, I think I have them correct now. I had it the Sunday hour. So we're open Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. And for groups only, on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and our group times from now to the end of the school year are filling up quickly. If you're interested in bringing a group in the next few weeks, please call pretty soon. We're also open on Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m. All right, well, thank you for watching our live stream or the recording of it.
One last addendum on to here. Thank you to the Beltrami Electric Co-op. They've been underwriting our streams for the last few weeks here.